tutorial, I'll cover the theory behind a 2-5-1 progression. This will include comping on the piano and showing you one way to play through a 2-5-1 in a melodic manner. An important thing to remember is whatever the major chord is you're resolving to, the whole progression is in that key. So if you have an A minor 7 to D7 resolving to a G major, this is all in the key of G major, which makes it easy to group these chords together when you improvise over them. Before watching this video, you may want to view my video on the modes of a major scale and their corresponding chords if you haven't seen it already, or if there's anything you'd like to review. We'll look at a 2-5-1 progression on the piano first in the key of C for simplicity. Here's the C major scale, all white notes. A 2-5-1 progression is exactly what it sounds like. The 2 minor chord going to the 5 dominant and resolving to the 1 major chord. The 2 minor, or D minor in this case, is going to the 5 dominant chord, which is G7, and that resolves to the 1 major chord, or C major. This is a simple rooted voicing, meaning a voice with the root or tonic contained in it, and it is not my preferred voicing, except for teaching. One of the voicings I prefer is to have the root in the left hand and the rest of the notes of the chord in the right hand. The voicings I talk about are all from the bottom up. For D minor, D would be in the left hand. The right hand would have the flat third, F, the fifth A, the flat seventh C, and the ninth E. For the second voicing, the G7, you play G in the left hand, and in the right hand only one note changes. The C moves 1/2 step down to B. In other words, the C, which is the 7th of D minor, now becomes the 3rd of G7. For the final voicing of C major, the left hand plays the C, while the right hand shifts down, essentially keeping its shape, and plays a C major 6-9 chord. One of my teachers told me a fifth is only in a bottle of Jack Daniels, not to be taken literally, but the fifth in a dominant or a major chord sounds more traditional. Here's the G7 with the 6th and with the 5th. I prefer the sound of the 6th to the 5th in a dominant chord because it has more of a suspended sound. The 6th has a more suspended sound, but this is a stylistic preference, and sometimes I do use the 5th on purpose. We continue upwards with this progression. Going in half steps until we reach G minor to C7 to F major. Then for the next few voicings you should invert the voicing so we stay in the mid-range of the piano. The G sharp minor 7 is no longer using the inversion with the 3rd, the 5th, the 7th, and the 9th on top. But instead, the two top notes are transposed down an octave. The two top notes, F sharp and A sharp, have gone down an octave. For G sharp minor, that gives us F sharp, the flat 7th, A sharp, the 9th or the 2nd, B, the flat 3rd, and the 5th, D sharp. Here you get that nice grind between the 9th for A sharp and the 3rd B. For the second voicing, C sharp 7, you play C sharp in the left hand. In the right hand, again, only one note changes. The bottom note, F sharp, becomes an F. Again, the flat 7th, the note F sharp, in the 2 minor chord of G sharp minor, becomes the 3rd in the dominant chord of C sharp 7, becoming the note F. For the final voicing of F sharp major, we have F sharp, the root in the left hand. In the right hand, we have the 6th, D sharp, the 9th, G sharp, the 3rd, A sharp, and the 5th being C sharp. I play this inversion all the way through the cycle until I finish where I began, at the D minor, to G7, to C major. Now let's go to the trumpet. Here's the 2-5-1 progression in the key of G major. You'll note in the second bar, the bar with the D7, there is a note that is not in the key of G. This extra note is the D flat. This note is added to the D7 while it is descending between the root D and the flat 7th being C to make the pattern smoother. If you don't add the D flat, the line ends up on an upbeat and sounds awkward. Now you can play this pattern or comp on the piano throughout all the keys with the track I provided. In the upper left of the screen will be the piano chordings. Below that is the 2-5-1 pattern for B flat, E flat, and concert instruments. On the right are the chord changes in concert key. Enjoy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that's it, folks. Thanks for watching. That concludes my tutorial on the 2-5-1 progression. If you have any questions or comments, don't hesitate to ask in the comment section below. Also, feel free to subscribe to my channel for updates on my newest jazz video lessons.